Hello and welcome to Monday the 23rd of October 2017 with me, Doc Eon, and your friend Balthazar here, who's finished now. Now, it's not perfect. There's a few things off with this figure. First, the thing that you can see a seam line if you look for it very carefully, where the model did not go together perfectly here, and between the braid and that cloak there. But at a glance, you won't notice. Also, I didn't realize when I placed him on the base he would be leaning forward quite so much. But you know, just standing on a table, that angle is probably not that noticeable. You could imagine that he's charging forward maybe instead of just standing still. But yeah, I painted a lot of detail that was covered up when I put the two pieces together, so that was unnecessary, but oh well, he got done, and I am complete as far as Warhammer 40k figures go. Well, for now. You'll see later that there is perhaps an extension of life for it. Balthazar was not the only thing I got done. I also finished these grubs. Very, very simple paint jobs. And this weird bug. Not sure what it's supposed to be. Some sort of chaotic creature. For a grand total of 5 miniatures finished this week. A little better than the one I got done last week, certainly. So, what have I got cooking?
And here we have Cthulhu, who looks a big mess at the moment. It's just a riot of different colors splashed all over him, and it's just me trying to block in base layers and some highlights, and yeah, I think I've got most of the base tones down now. There's more highlighting to do, and then shading, and yeah, it's the way my process is currently. I do a lot of back and forth, and yeah, he'll come together eventually. I won't stop until I feel happy with him. Yeah, so this is the big project, but I've got some smaller stuff as well. Now this first batch of Infernals has got some base coats applied via airbrush. It's covered a bit too much. You see, I did. You will recall I did that undercoat of sort of pre-shaded primer. And then I sprayed a very thin down red. It was this color here. For most of them, clear red by Reaper. Thin down 50%. You know, equal amounts of paint and thinner. I mean, it's transparent paint to begin with, so with that much thinner it should be really transparent, but it turned out it still covered too much. It's covered up too much of the layer underneath. Now, some of them turned out better than the others. I thinned them even more, but then the red became very pale, not that noticeable on this guy, for example. And I experimented with different mixes. On this guy, I still have some pretty clear shading, but still some red. But overall, I'm gonna have to reapply highlights again on all of these. Haven't quite figured out how yet. We'll see. I'll figure something out eventually. Here's a bit of a surprise for you. I didn't want to prep even more Infernals just now. I just felt like doing something different. And because I got those bits from Spellcrow, I decided, let's see what I can start to put together. So these are the beginnings of some more Marines, as you can tell. Now, most of these are so far kind of pure in that these are all legs plus torsos. And most of these are either completely GW, so like these guys. This is a torso and legs from a Chaos Space Marine kit, and this is pure Spellcrow so far. Torso and legs from Spellcrow bits. We have, I believe, one Frankenstein. Yes, here we have a Space Marine GW torso with Spellcrow legs. There will be even more Frankenstein monster shenanigans once I start putting on heads and arms and backpacks, and I've realized, once I've decided exactly what to do with them, there are some options. Look for at least some of these to be fully assembled next week. I don't really have any new projects in the works. I mean, if everything I've shown you so far progresses very quickly, then I will start assembling the next batch of Infernals, which I've already shown you previously in previous episodes. So, yeah, I've got quite enough projects in the pipeline.
And it is time for an unboxing of a Kickstarter this time. And what is it? Well, it was the Kickstarter called Naughty Gears from Scale 75, which was for producing a number of busts, resin busts of mainly females of the steampunk variety. I went in at the pledge level where I got 4 busts, and I think there were 8 available total, but 4 of them were going to be available for purchase later, and 4 were Kickstarter exclusive, as it says here, and I, of course, picked up all the exclusive ones, the ones that supposedly you can't get later. We'll see about that, how long they remain exclusive, but for now they are exclusive. So I got this one, which has the name Brigitte Lafayette. The pledge included a bunch of these stands, which are, with the Scale 75 logo, and you stick the bust on top of here. This is for display. There's 4 of these. I think there should have been 5, but oh well, never mind. Here we have, who's this? Jessica Thunderhawk. I'm not sure showing you the resin matters. You can see that there's a torso and whatnot. This one has a hammer. This one's a smith called Helga Blitzhammer. The 4th one is a vampiress, I believe, called Lady Valerius. And there was some extra stuff. Oh yes, there was this was a stretch goal to add an extra stand onto it. I only need the 4 for the 4 ones I have, but in case I buy another bust from them in the future, I already have a stand ready. And then there was a little bunch of stuff, a button. Why would I ever wear a button like that? People would think I was really strange. There are a couple of standard 32mm miniatures that were also stretch goals. I think a total of 3 of them. This one even has a sort of clockwork scenic base. The others are just have plain plastic bases. I'm not sure about what they are. What else did I get? Some sort of postcards of the models. I guess this is this model, maybe? No, it isn't. It's a different one. Let's see if I can. yeah, this is all the models that were in the Kickstarter, not just the ones I bought. I suppose these are useful for reference if I want to copy this color scheme in the painting. I'm not sure I do, because a lot of them are very dark, and not sure that comes across well. And we have stickers. Why would I need stickers? Oh well. And the big thing they provided as a bonus was a whole book. This is called Steampunk in Miniature, and it's essentially a kind of painting guide. I haven't had the chance to more than flip through this, so I don't know how good it is, but it seems to provide at least some tips about how to paint these large-scale minis, and with some specific instructions about steampunk. Of course, they all mention the scale of 75 paints in specifically. So yeah, I'm not sure how useful they are, because I don't have that many of them. I have some of them, not the full range, and yeah, I'm not sure I'm getting any more. But anyway, this is a nice bunch of stuff for when I can next find the time to concentrate on a big project. I think I've mentioned I want to get into painting larger scale minis like 56, 72, and even busts. This just because you can get more detail into it that's actually visible. But it's not going to happen this year, because I feel the stress of having to push out some speeded painted jobs to make my statistics appear a bit more less hopeless. So, but next year I'll probably get started on some of these. Anyway, that was the episode for this week. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Click like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Comment if there was anything that caught your eye especially. And I will see you in a week. Until then, I'm Dakian, and I am signing off.